brand new, cannot be installed. There is definitely oil. As you can see, we have a lot of leaves.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm super excited for this video. It is the first video on the Audi in a very, very long time. Now I bought a lot of parts that I've had stored away that I haven't got in the car, so I'm super excited to start getting all the bits that I bought on the car and continuing with the vision for this build. Now this first one is a big one. It's going to require most of the front end being taken off. It's the big intercooler from Racing Line. I bought this a very, very long time ago and it's finally going to be on this car. It is a huge job, but while the car is still on jack stands without the wheels, I thought I'd get this one done first. So I found some instructions online and they're from a different brand, Forge Motorsport. My goal for this afternoon is to get this front end disassembled as possible, and then we can start rebuilding it back up and putting the Racing Line intercooler in. So it says it's a T20, but I've got a T15. I can't remember when I did this intake whether they changed these bolts or not, but they don't look the same. Now what I'm going to try and do and be very careful with is keeping all the bolts together in each section, so like the top part and then sort of underneath, and all the bolts in the footwell that we've got to take apart. Found one bag, but I'm going to get another jiffy bag to keep everything separate and labelled, because this is going to take a day or two, I think. Next we've got to pull this hose out, which I think it might be easier to take this whole box out, airbox out. It's been a long time since I've had this box off, so I'm not sure 100%. It's going to take me a while to get this off, so I'm going to speed this up and then I'll get back to you when we're on the next thing. That's the airbox out. I've just put something in the turbo pipe so we don't accidentally drop something in there. Next we go to the wheel wells. Take out all these screws in the front so we can access this. Instructions say T20 again. Let's see if they're right. This time they are. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Where have we missed one out from? 11. Make sure I pick them up so we don't get them in the car. And now I'll do the other side. Next it's under the car with a T30, 3 fasteners, and then every other screw holding in the under tray, which is T20s and T45s. So I need to order some screws because out of all these fasteners that were marked underneath the car, only 4 were holding on the under tray. Now I knew it had come off ages ago and it had cracked a little bit, but I didn't know it was missing that many screws. I'm going to have to order a whole new set of under tray screws because we can't have 4 holding in with like 20 that's going to be there. You can see just here's where it cracked and it's worn down. I'm going to order all those screws, try and repair that. And then when we put it back on, it shouldn't fall down again. It should be super secure. So they're a T20 in the instructions, but they seem to be a T27 on my car. So I saw it wrong. The T27s, I don't think are going to come out. Next to it, there is okay, so that one snapped. So that now comes away from the bumper. The T27s I'm going to put back in because they weren't meant to come out, but I'm going to do the other side now. So next we're going to disconnect the wiring loom on the inside on the passenger side. It could be different because mine's a left-hand drive car and these are for a right-hand drive car. I think this is underneath. We're back on top for the bonnet pull. We're going to take that off. You put a flat-bladed screwdriver in the back, push in the tab and on the back of the lever and then pull upwards.
A few moments later.
I was ready for it to snap. I just pulled it as hard as I could and it literally snapped the back off it. It hasn't damaged any of this, but there was no way it should have been that difficult to pull off. So I think this button, I mean it's not coming back out now, was damaged to begin with. So I'm gonna have to order another one of these, but whatever. It's off now, so let's keep going. So there's 2 T20 fasteners here. Next it's the front washer jets. So before I take this bumper off, there is a cable here that I'm going to disconnect. It is so much easier with these lights on, and also having the tools a bit more to hand. It would be awesome to get them in chests and super organised. It's a massive step up for now. There we go. So I'm not sure what that does. Maybe it is the front washer jet, but it doesn't show a picture on there. Now it's this brace bar, which is T30s. And now on the top of the headlight. I think this one as well. So now looking for the air temp sensor, it looks like this. That looks like it attaches to the intercooler, so that's what I'm going to go with. Down here, just there. Not sure if I can get it to focus very well. There it is. Just here, it attaches to the intercooler. So I'm going to try this pick tool. See if I can pull up on it. Oh, belter. That's what you need, really easy. Just pull it up, straight up. Pops right off. Now it's this ducting, either side. And then another sensor on this one. Yeah, that side didn't have it. And just pull off like that. I think the T30s are the last thing holding this light in, which is this. One on each side. Okay, super long. Okay, there's another T30 underneath the headlight, next to the wing. There's 3 T30s, so we're going underneath. So it was the T27s, the 2 T27s that I took out by mistake with that piece that needed to take out now. Now we've got these 2 little tabs here. There's one of these on each side. Now we've got to take the cable box off the bonnet latch. Ah, there you go. So basically it goes that way. So we've got to take this top cover off. From the picture it looks like we're disconnecting this piece. So it says to cut these tabs, but Forged give you new ones, Racing Line don't. So if you have the new ones, cut them. If you don't, we're going to try and not break them and reuse them. If not, we'll just have to reorder new ones, like the bonnet latch that I just broke. And these are the tabs that they're talking about cutting. We're going to try and preserve them. So the big camera just died. I'm going to go to charge that up. It is getting late, so I'm going to stop there. We've got 9 pages left. Done about 14, 15 pages, so we're well over halfway. And we'll get back to it tomorrow, disassembling the full crash bar. Take 4 bolts out of each side, and then we're gonna have to hold it up, and then we're gonna mess with the air condenser. So I don't want to be tired and be doing that. And now it's just the 2 radiator pipes on the bottom. I haven't done the hose clamps. I did that yesterday, but I didn't pull off the silicone hoses. And now I think everything is taken off. No, there is one more loom, it looks like. I can now pull this away. Be very gentle, just in case anything else is attached. It doesn't seem to be too much tension on the air compressor thing. We've got this attached. Oh, that's the coolant pipe. I have a new one of these because I'll show you in a minute. It's pinching here because it goes underneath the intake now. So we're at the limit of the instructions. They haven't removed any of this, so it doesn't look like it. So I'm gonna do it because I've just watched some videos and it looks way easier with all of this off. So that's what I'm gonna do. If I can get this crash bar off, it'll be a lot lighter. So in an effort to save these clips, what we're going to do, I'm going to pry these two down, one on the top, one there. I'm going to put a screwdriver in the middle and I'm going to get my girlfriend to tap and see if we can get these out and save these two clips, because then we can hopefully rebuild the whole thing in this video and then we don't have to order new clips.
2 hours later.
It's not going to move, I'm just breaking this plastic stuff, so I'm going to use the cutters, buy new clips. Finally, the radiator is out. As you can see, we have a lot of leaves and dirt that I'm going to vac up in a minute. This is what we're looking like now. This is the condenser, so I haven't taken it off because I didn't want to regas it. Big pain. This is really different to the video that I watched. And also the instructions got me so far, but in the end, kind of mixed it with the video. There isn't too much tension on these, which is great. I did cut the tabs, as you saw. It was just pointless, you know, just to buy some new tabs. It could have took ages. Would have probably ended up snapping them anyway, because all the plastic in this is brittle and it ends up cracking. So I'm going to buy new ones. I'm going to have to wait to get them in. But there is something else that I want to change, which is these boost pipes. These are from Bartek. They're one of the first things that I fitted to this car. And when I did, this went in okay, and there's two more bolts that didn't fit at all. It's down here. I'll try and move this out of the way in a minute. Then this keeps blowing off, and I think it's to do with this pipe can move because it's not secured in all the places. I've got some new pipes from APR. We're going to replace this rubber pipe. These are already the racing line ones down here. The intercooler pipe in, and then the throttle body pipe just here. We're going to put the APR stuff on. It's going to be way easier to do it with all this out of the way than trying to shove my hands up. That could have been the reason why these didn't fit. Hopefully the APR ones fit. They look really nice anyway. The silicone hose is a little bit skinnier, but it's got a bit more rigidity, a lot like the racing line stuff. And the other thing is this coolant hose. It now goes underneath the intake, but you can see here it's pinched. Now I've not had any problems with the coolant temperatures, but that didn't sit right with me, being like that, rather than it should have been. I think like this, because I think this is the APR one that I bought, and the intake from them isn't as low as the Armour Speed one, whereas the racing line one, it goes down, down, up and across. So I bought the racing line. I'm gonna put that one on there. Like that just even came off. Didn't even have to loosen the one connecting to the turbo. So this is going to be an easy take apart because it wasn't attached here and it wasn't attached here. So we've got these really nice racing line hoses. I'm going to keep using them. I'm going to take this sensor off, transfer it to the APR one. Not sure if you can see, but just here, this O-ring, it's got a cut in it. So this was probably about to fail. I wonder if we can get a new O-ring as well. So these pipes are completely different shapes. That's where the sensor goes. And this is much longer. This has only got one bracket on it. This has got 3 mounting points. And then these two have got the same kind of mounting points, but they're completely different shape. I'm hoping the APR ones fit this car, because otherwise I've got 2 sets of pipes that don't properly fit the car. The car does run on the other ones. Once you start making more power and things like that, the things are going to move more, and you don't want that. You need to be properly mounted. I've only got one of these, which comes off the pipes, which is a little rubber grommet with the screw. Pushes in like that. And then that goes into the pipe. There is obviously a couple more that I didn't fit because they wouldn't work with the pipes, and I'm pretty sure that with the intake for this car, which is in my other locker, so we'll have to go and have a look for those. These clamps as well just look so much beefier, more secure than the ones from the Bartek ones. I'm not slamming Bartek, but these clamps feel really nice. Like this now, we've got no tubes down here, no pipes. You can see the turbo just down there. In that cupboard, as I have said before, I do have the TTE Race IS38 turbo for this car. And while this is all like this and we're waiting, I am wondering if I take the rest apart and slap that turbo in there. Let me know what you think in the comments. One other thing, which is quite good that I've taken this apart, because this, you can see here as I took it apart, there's a bit of coolant, and it looks like it has failed here, and it's got a very slight leak. So I wonder if I should replace this, or can I fix it? Again, let me know what you would do. Would you replace this whole thing, or would you try and fix it? I don't know if there's an upgrade for it. I'll have a look, because that would be quite cool if we can upgrade it. I like to upgrade if we can. And while it's like this, why not? Like, everything's apart. So I went for some food, got a quick coffee, and did some research onto the radiator that's leaking in the one corner. As I said, I do like to upgrade things where I can, and this has obviously failed, so upgrading it would be really cool. And I found a few options. They're not cheap. They range from like a couple of €100 to, I think the most expensive one was $750, something like that, not including shipping and importation. But it would be good to get an upgraded one of these. A few reasons. One, upgrade something that's broken. Two, this was a pain. It's a massive job, and pulling all this out again, I really don't want to do if I don't have to. So it would be good to get that and then put it in. And if we want to push this and push this and push this, it's better to have upgraded parts. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the clips that we snapped off the radiator. I'm going to get a new one of these. That might take a little bit of time because that's a big investment, and some of them are okay price wise, but then you've got to get them here. They're in another USA or something like that. It's probably going to cost a lot to ship. So I'm going to do some research into it before we go ahead with it. So we're going to drain the coolant now, remove this radiator. As you can see, there's a lot of things that need doing to the Audi. Things are starting to break and fail, but it's really good actually that I've taken this out, because now I've found this leak, and maybe it wouldn't have happened if I'd done this earlier. I would have put the intercooler in and then wouldn't have noticed, and then I'd have to replace this anyway. But this is really cool. The Audi is finally getting some love that it deserves. This clip off, while that's draining. That's the side the leak's on. This is now fully disassembled. No more radiators, but I didn't notice when I bought it. Can't run the turbo muffler delete with the APR charge pipes. Brand new, cannot be installed. That's a shame. Inside here, there is definitely oil. That sucks about the APR charge pipes. I was quite excited about them. They look really cool, but they were thinner than these Bartek ones. I've just tried to mock it back up, and I'm gonna try them again, because now all this is out, it's much easier to maneuver them into place. So I'm gonna go get those little tabs, like I said, that go through these holes. And while it's like this, I'm gonna see if I can get this to fit with all 3 mounting points to the engine. Okay, so the full teardown is complete. I've cleaned up the hoses. They look nice and shiny. We've got the racing line coolant pipe here, which I'm gonna leave until we've got the radiator ready to install. So next is installing these pipes and see if we can get them on all 3 mounting points. 1 there and 2 down the bottom. If we can get that, then we're golden. We're gonna stick with them. Then we've got the IS38 TTE raised turbo to go in. That is in there with the gaskets that I've got ready to go in. So that's my next plan. Get these pipes installed, get the IS38 raised turbo on, and wait for all the parts that we need to put this car back together. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's not a full, complete install, but it's more of a teardown. This is a long project, but I'm super happy to be back working on the Audi, and I hope you are too. If you like it and you want to follow this journey, make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
A rich man's world. I have turned the soul of this